Hey, it's Spence from LaunchFlows.com. It's breakfast with LaunchFlows, a new feature. No, I'm not sure if that's true, but it is coffee time, and I got a great question in the Facebook group. I'm going to give these questions now anonymously, just to protect the innocent. This is a question that's been asked several times, and it's something I want to clarify because LaunchFlows 4.0 makes some things possible that maybe were not as obvious or easy before. This is a popular option. The question is upsells for multi-choice products. We have products, and again, presuming WooCommerce, that customers need to make multiple choices. That's a variation product or a variable product. So t-shirts, sizes, color, free gift. Those would be attributes: size, color, gift. Those are three separate attributes on the product of t-shirt. That is all taken care of by a variable product. We are selling one item that the customer needs to make three selections for. As I understand it, LaunchFlows cannot do this on the thank you page as an upsell offer. It would be great if we could do this. Well, it actually can do it, and it can do it on any page, whether it's the thank you page. And here's how this works. Assuming we have a main product that you purchase before you get to this variation as a sort of thank you replacement upsell offer. After they check out, instead of taking them to a regular thank you page, we're going to take them to this product that is a variable product that has multiple options on it. In this case, three attributes to choose from. They, of course, always have two choices. They can either say, yes, I want this, and add it to the cart. In this case, I want to point out, we're going to make use of LaunchFlows' capability to turn any product itself into its own checkout. That way we don't even have to send them elsewhere. We can just let them buy it right there on the page. And we can even make it fancier because, quite frankly, all their attributes and information for checkout will have already been presumably available. If you don't allow guest checkout, this person I think actually does, but if you don't allow guest checkout, somebody's first name, last name, email, credit card will be on a file. You could do like a one-click checkout even. Nevertheless, even if you make them press the button, yes, I want to buy it again, they'll stay on this page. And then after they buy this option, you can send them on to the final thank you page, or you can send them on to the My Account area or the previous orders area, whatever you want to do. The point is that you can let them really simply use the variable product instead of a thank you page. And I'm going to show you how to do that. You can also give them a no thanks option. And that's simply to say, yeah, sounds good. I'm really good. I don't want to buy this. And that could be just a button that links directly to one of those other options, like the My Account area or the thank you page or their lessons, whatever you want them to go to that sort of doesn't require them to purchase anything else or be exposed to it. I want to point out that you can optionally do this with our new templating system for single products or for individual products, or you can use the Upsell widget. Because, as you'll see in a second, we're on the product page itself. It's actually quite easy to just do it manually with the product components. Let's see what we need to do. Let's make a new product. This is going to be a super duper duper lesson. I am in Classic. I am going to switch to the block editor because of its awesomeness for doing things like this. In LaunchFlows 4.0, we have a couple setup things we want to do. First of all, let's give this a name and save it so we have the URL. Upsell variable product. You call it whatever you want. The point of doing this first is that we need to have a permalink. We need to have this page generated. Why? Because what we want to do is go to LaunchFlows and choose this page itself as its own checkout. So we're going to type in upsell variable, and there it is. We can choose it now. So when somebody actually says, add this to the cart, instead of being sent to another checkout page, they'll stay here. We also want to choose what kind of product it is. And this is going to be, of course, a variable product. That bounced me off of LaunchFlows, but that's okay. Where do we want them to go when they're done with this? Like we talked about, maybe I want to send them to the My Account area, or maybe I want to send them to another product, or maybe I want to send them to an actual thank you page that I create. In this case, for simplicity, I'll send them to the My Account area where they could theoretically review things that they've done in the past and so forth. Now, we could give them a choice with variations by using the only one variation option of being able to choose only one of the possible iterations. That's a good use case if, for example, you have only, let's say, 3 choices of your variations, small, medium, and large, 1 month, 6 months, or a year. But in the case of what this person is asking, you're going to have maybe 9 or 10 or 12 variations. I don't think you necessarily want to limit them to one. And also, this person is selling a product that is a food product, I happen to know, that somebody might want to buy 2, 4, 6, 8, 10 of them. So this is an option where you can limit people to picking only one of the variations created. Just know it exists, okay? We want to probably put images on these, but we'll do that after the variations. And then we want to turn this into its own checkout. This is an important step. Using the add checkout to this post option means that a checkout page will be here. Finally, the new 4.0 option that makes a lot of this happen as well is the select product template. If you choose default template, all of the normal components of the WooCommerce product page are there for you to mix and match and move around and hide, which is awesome and easy, and you can add to them as well. That's the choice we're probably going to do here. However, if we wanted to, we could choose blank template, which means that all of the pieces we need are there, they're just hidden, and we can selectively show only the ones we want, which would be a good use case, for example, to use the upsell component, because we get the kind of style of the component ready to use, but we essentially don't have anything else competing for the space. So I'm going to choose default template here because I want to use the default stuff and just move it around a bit. And then I'm also going to choose instant clean sales page, which removes the stuff I really don't need to show here, like breadcrumbs, related products, and so forth. Now, depending on the theme that you're using, you can go ahead and have other options as far as the layout of the page is concerned, right? So in the event that you're using like Astra theme or Cadence theme or something, you could choose the size and the shape and the width and all the stuff of this product page. I'm not going to worry about that. Finally, we need to go ahead and set up the attributes. So let's go ahead and add attributes. I'm not going to make this as complicated, but I'm going to say something like size. And again, this is default WooCommerce stuff. Small, medium, large. I'm going to use this for variations. I'm going to add another one. Let's save this one first. I'm going to add another attribute, which is called color. And again, simplicity, red, green, blue. You can set up as many variations as you want. When I'm done with that, I'm going to go back over here, make sure I've got what I want, and then I'm going to say variations. I'm going to say create variations from those attributes. This is going to create 3 times 3 is 9. Even I can do that math. Now, you have to set the prices and all the other stuff on here. You can set separate images and so forth. So what I'm going to do here is I'm just going to put let's just make this simple. I'll say like $10, and then the next one is $12, whatever, $13, $12 again. Doesn't matter. Just trying to make this fast. I'm just throwing random numbers, so don't hold me to my illogical pricing. And one of the things that's beneficial is that you get, as you can see here, individual, you got to click Save Changes. You get individual product IDs for any of these choices, okay? Now, here's what used to be hard, but it's now easy. Let's set a product image, by the way, too. Let's just put a pizza in there, even though that makes no sense. It used to be that you couldn't do all this with LaunchFlows, and so you had to have a separate checkout page, separate product page. You had to bounce people 2 spots. But watch what happens now. If we preview this, we now get the normal product page limited to a lot of stuff, and there's some other things on here that are extra from using Cadence theme that you don't necessarily have to display. But now you've got the ability to use this as the thank you substitute and to jazz it up, to make it look the way you want, to customize it. And it has its own checkout. And you can further customize the things on here. For example, let's say I don't want to show the additional information. Now with LaunchFlows, you can do that a couple ways. The easiest is just to type in additional field, Okay, and then choose the advanced and type LF hide. That's a super fast way of eliminating a field you don't want to show. What if I am using, let's say like this, Cadence theme, and I don't want to show the extras, the guaranteed safe checkout thing, right? I can just do the same thing. I can say product extras. See, it says Cadence, and I can do the same thing, LF hide. Or I can relocate it by making a new layout in that space where I mix the things together. So you notice it's gone. So now what happens here? Let's go back to our diagram. Now, if somebody buys a main product, instead of sending them to the thank you page, I'm going to send them to this page itself. So what happens is, let's pretend, let's go over here. Let's go back to our products. Let's have a main product. Sometimes my demo site is unhappy in the morning. Maybe it needs coffee too. Let's see if it'll load this up. Sorry for the delay. Comcast is amazing. Let's add the main product. Okay. And again, for this one, I could design it, but I'll just do this one in classic. Okay. So let's pretend we had the main product. Somebody pays $50 for it. In LaunchFlows, for the next step, guess what I'm going to choose? I'm going to choose my upsell variable product as the post checkout page. By the way, it's worth mentioning, I actually could choose it for the next step because it has a checkout on it. I could actually send them there. So let's do that actually. So we're going to say upsell. I'm going to do both of them in one. I'm going to send them to the variable product page to check out. I'm also going to use that page. I'm going to use the my account as the post checkout page where they'll go if they buy this. I'm just thinking about it. Actually, no, let me do this slightly different because that wouldn't be true to what I'm trying to say. I'm trying to say after checkout. So let's do this independently. Let's keep them separate. So let's use the traditional checkout. And afterwards, after we're done checking out, we're going to send them to this one. That would be more true to my example. Okay. And in this one, we're keeping everything just sort of standard, whatever. Let's take a look at what happens here. I may have to adjust a few things, but I think we've got most of what we need. So somebody's got a main product. They add it to the cart. They go to checkout. They go to buy. Let's check out with the existing card. Afterwards, they're going to be sent to the upsell offer page, which is the product. Now they get to choose this. Now, I didn't show you this, but one of the things that LaunchFlows makes possible now is you can jazz this thing up. See how I've got all these options here? I don't have to show the normal title in the normal place and all the rest of that. I can hide that stuff and change the layout. So one of the things I could do here is type product title and put that wherever I want it. And let's put it down into the mix area below. And I can even add a heading, get this upsell offer now. I'm not saying you're going to do this, but I'm just telling you that this is what's cool about this, is that you can make this whatever design you want, mix and match, throw these pieces together, so it doesn't have to look like the original product page. Let's just refresh this before we do the checkout and you can see what I mean. You see, I'm moving the pieces from the product area at the top down into the mix area. Let's get rid of the coupon code. I'm not a big fan of using that here. So I'm going to do the same thing. I'm going to put it in, and like I did in the other ones, I want to just hide that. So LF hide. Now, remember how I said to you that we've got the ability to add the cart by using the core components, the default components, or we can make this our own design. Let's just see what would happen if before I finish the checkout, I go to LaunchFlows and I switch to the blank template. what's going to happen is these original components at the top are going to be hidden, but they're really still there. So I just add it back in where I want it to go. So in this case, I'm going to say add to cart, and it has to be the product add to cart from LaunchFlows. It can't be the third-party stuff because ours does something very special here. So I'll put it right below the get offer now thing. Let's refresh the page. We may have to clear the cache. Let's see. No, it worked. So I haven't designed anything, but you can see the pieces are there. And let's put in the product image. So product images. And again, I would obviously design this with some columns or something else, but I just want to show you that the components can be put anywhere you want. And now what have I got? I've got this made myself, really awesome, stupidly bad design, but super awesome, effective way to have the ability for somebody to add these options. So now let's do our choice. Small, red, add it to cart. I can do any number of items. And by the way, with LaunchFlows, we can also change place order simply by going and using on the page itself. We go to product itself. We go to the new LaunchFlows button text and we say, get this upsell now. Now, remember I said one last thing before we check out. Remember I said you could put a button in that says no thanks. Okay, fine. Put in a button. Any button will do. And you can say, or it could be a link. No thanks. Bertha's getting in the way there. Hi, Bertha. I have to talk to those guys about that. Let's push that to the left. And this could lead to, I would say, the My Account area. So I type in My Account, or wherever you want to send them in the event they say, I'm not interested, right? Okay, let's refresh this one last time. And again, not trying to make this super awesome design-wise, but you see the components are there. If somebody were to go here, I'm not going to do it fully, but they would be taken into My Account. But in this case, they've just given their choices. It's in the cart. They can go ahead and get this upsell now. Check out United States, and so on and so forth. Get this upsell now. They check out, then they're taken to wherever it is that we said we want them to go. In this case, I think it was the My Account area also. Done and done. So what did we learn today? We learned that you can set up with LaunchFlows 4.0, a variable product to look and act exactly as you want. You can even, as I'll do now, put in the upsell widget. But really, since you're on the product page, why not just design it either with the default template or with the blank template and put everything, the places and the look and the feel that you want, so that it doesn't look like the original product. It just looks like an upsell sales page, and add its own checkout to it. And here you've got an incredibly easy and powerful way to do stuff. And notice what I did not have to do. I did not have to set up flows and steps, and I did not have to choose from some specific template from a specific page builder. I can use this with any theme I want. In fact, just to prove my point, let's do two things. Let's go ahead, and I want to show you what would happen if I put that upsell widget in. So just type upsell. And here, all you would do is just take the post ID number, which is 52572. And the reason you want to do that is you want to put the product itself into the widget, 52572. And you can choose all the other options you want. But just to show you what would happen with this, this will give you an alternative, a nicely formatted design for offering this particular product. Let's make sure 52572. And let's clear the cache. I'll just put that in there. What I want to do here is put back what I just took out, which I took out the image display yes. So let's go ahead. Let's do that one more time. 52575. I should have left image display yes because I want to use it here. So we'll say upsell. 52575. I'll just leave all the other attributes alone. And just to show you what happens, let's dump all these other ones. literally I can do this faster this way. So let's do this. Doot, doot. I'm gonna see if I can highlight these all together. There we go. That's what I want to do. Okay, now I've just got the one upsell offer, the one upsell product, and it should have all the components I need, but it's again still on the same page. The downside of doing this is that this limits you to the specific ID, and that's important. I think that's where the question originally came from. Notice that this is for the parent product. That isn't going to really cut it unless you've got a default variation set up. So you see here default values. If you have a default value, like the default one is the small red one, then you can go ahead and use the parent ID. However, otherwise with the upsell, you would be forced to choose from any of the children ID. And I think that's why I wanted to show you this most of all, is that the upsell widget itself, or the upsell component, only lets you choose one of the IDs at a time. You could certainly do multiples of this. In other words, you could do 2, 3, 4 different upsells on the same page, but I'm not sure you want to do that. Let me show you how that would look. If I added this a second time, I think the best way to do it is the way I showed you originally. If I do it a second time, let me put in, for example, 52574. This would get very tiresome compared to the first method I showed you, because obviously, and we're going to say image no, because obviously you're going to have all these things to configure for every product. And I don't think that's what you want. I think what you want is to use the product itself with the normal choice selector, and then use the upsell widget only on situations where you're not on the product itself. So here you can see, like, you know, you can hide more of the stuff, but you can change each of the options and have A, B, C, D, E, F, G variation. Okay. Finally is this is what happens when I drink coffee when I'm making an actual video, by the way. What if I change the theme? So let me go back over here. I'm going to go to the default template, and for whatever reason, I've deleted my other layout. If I switch the theme, it makes no difference, because LaunchFlows is now a component in the My Account area, or into the, the account area. Oh my goodness. In the content area. And as a result, it's not affected by the theme. So I could go to themes and I can switch here from Cadence to anything like Astra or Divi or one of the other ones, one of the other page builder themes. And when I do, everything will still function. This will go back to the default, but you notice it picks up of that particular theme, whatever the styles and attributes are, right? So let's see what happens with Divi. The color schemes, your default fonts, all that sort of stuff, you know, it works fine. Divi always has like a sidebar area here. That's what's neat about using this new mechanism in LaunchFlows 4.0 is it completely liberates you, this one's even funnier, from the design issues that the previous version caused by being in the template. We've moved it out of the template, so now it just works with your theme. Actually, this is charming, to be honest. It's charming and weird, but it would work even with the default 2021 theme. All right, this has been my Spence for breakfast with a LaunchFlows example, and obviously seeing what happens when caffeine hits my lips and goes to my brain during a video. I'll see you guys in the next video.